Hey guys, this is Brian here with Stokes & Company Restoration Business. We got us a, we're in the boat business here lately, it seems like. So people ask me, said, you rebuilding boats or what are you doing? I said, I'm just following the Lord. I said, whatever he tells me, shows me, provides for me, let's do it. So, got a friend I used to sell hay to, hit me up on Facebook after I posted just my new adventure here. So my new adventure here is, this is full-time, this is me. This shop right here, this is me. eBay, YouTube, as you're watching, this is me. This is who God's called me to be. He's called me to go out and preach the gospel. I didn't know what in the world that looked like. I've always been an 8 to 5 type dude. I always worked a job. All right, God, you gotta provide for me. You gotta provide for me. He said, I will. I'll provide for you according to my riches and my glory. Oh, somebody needed to hear that one. You gotta have faith to step out and to do it. It's not just a man, you can't just do this. You can work and toil all that you want, but if it's not for his glory and not for his calling, you'll be miserable. You won't have success. You won't have any peace. It just won't be there. He called me out of the 8 to 5 job, and I enjoy the 8 to 5 job, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful for those people that are there working these 8 to 5 jobs because they provide a service that I need. He's just called me personally out. So if he's calling you out and you know that, just as I'd said in my previous video that we did on the high bid auction boat, sometimes he calls us to quit our jobs, to leave our jobs. And while working on that boat, I said that, not knowing it was going to be me next. But hey, here I am. And we got Skeeter Hawk going on over there. We even got Case's red truck over here that picked up the boat and retrieved it for us here after we got the water pump done on it. Working great. There's the 50 horse Johnson that we took apart. Still got to do some more on it. We got a 1963 Cherokee over there we're going to try to work on at some point in time. So yeah, he's just providing. So we got some Nitro here today. 165 TF looks like. I'm probably a 16.5 foot. Like I said, it's a friend of mine that I used to sell hay to probably 10 years ago. We've just kind of kept in touch since then. And he's got a Tracker Pro Series 70 horse oil injecting. I don't think it's oil injected anymore. It's a mix. It's a mixer. And what we got today is he's having some problems with the lower unit. It doesn't spin. What I saw when I came over to his house looking at it was, see if you can see this or not, there's a crack right here, follows it all the way down to here, and we got a rust line. And we got a crack coming all the way up here, and you can feel it with your finger. So more than likely it's had water in it. Leaked the oil out, got water in it. So we're gonna take this thing apart. Lower unit's not gonna be any good, so we're gonna see what we got. You know, we pulled some lower units off. We pulled one out the 50 horse, but I don't think it's gonna be the same one, but we're gonna look and we're gonna learn about these, and can't be scared, can't have fear, and it's a little bit of the unknown, but we're gonna continue on. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, Johnson Everner guys. I just got to remember I got that bolt in there. That comes up from the shift linkage all the way up here into the top that I've got to get out, and it looks like the bolt head's on this side, so friction dive off in there. All right, so getting the shift linkage off of here. This is our shift linkage right here. That goes down through there, and I'm trying to get to the bolt in there to pull out the linkage that runs all the way from the bottom up to the top, but I can't move it down to get to the bolt because it's froze up. So this lower unit's no good. The new one, or whatever we get, we'll have the new rod running all the way to the top. So I'm gonna walk over here and I'll show you. On the one we pulled off on the 50 horsepower. Reference to something known good is what I love to do. Alright, so this is the 50 horsepower. This is the rod. This is the bolt hole that we can't get out up there because it won't move. So I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna cut it. So that way I can get it off here, because my new one, use one whatever I get, it's gonna come with one. So it's always good to have a reference in there to see what you can do, can't cut, and get it off here. right, y'all, there she is. She came out of the engine. Here's where your water's gonna come up out of here. Here's your impeller in here. There's the old shift linkage that we had to chop off there. Here's the unknown bolt that I didn't know about. There's that 5/8 head. These are your other ones right here. So we're gonna search for them down the new prop too. This old prop's a little rough, 13 by 15. 13 and a half pitch by 15-inch diameter, so we'll search him down one of those too. So the 50 horse, I wanted to check and see what the difference is. They're both the same 20-inch shafts, but visibly it looked like the 70 horsepower was bigger, so we just mic'd this. I'm not looking for an actual measurement, I'm just looking for difference in it, and quite a bit beefier on this 70 horse. So a 70 horse and a 50 horse are not interchangeable on that, because they will not spline up to the engine. Just a little. Yeah, next thing I really want to see is it will this thing run? Because before the engine wouldn't turn over because of the lower unit having it locked down. All right, our engine's free now. I'm gonna test that engine. Okay, so I didn't bore you with all of the parts of me trying to figure this out, and I know we got the sun's really bright coming up over here. Okay, so I had to figure out how in the world the actual the linkage that goes to the shift linkage through this rod right here, how it actually works with the cotter pin goes through there on this style. This one doesn't have the bolt, so I had to see for myself, y'all. So we found it. Go all the way down in there, and there it is. Okay, there's no bolt in it. I still don't know if you can get a good view in here, but it has a pin that slides in here, and then let me point to it for you. This right here, that's the actual shift rod there in the middle, and that pin slides in and out when you move it from the other side. I recommend, if you're going to do this, the only way that I found to do it was just go ahead and pull your breather cover off that goes right here, which is this right here, and this right here. Pull everything off, and as I got to looking at it, I'm like, why is this 3-pin connector up here unplugged, and why is this over here unplugged? And then I get to looking, I'm like, what is this? VRO, variable rate oiler. So this is the variable oiler, and then this is variable oil, and this is the fuel pump. So if you follow it down through here, here's the fuel filter. Like, hey, it'd be a good time to go ahead and change the fuel filter while we're in here. But the variable oiler has been disabled, and you can tell it right here. So this is our fuel line coming in here that you can take on and off. Well, that's the oiler. So if it was still hooked up to the variable rate oiler, then you would have a oil tank, and this would be a, as the hood says, oil injected. Okay, so that kind of had me wondering. So I talked to the customer, and he said, yeah, he said, no, it's all mixed. So a couple things, you're learning these things. Find out, it's got this down here, it's going to have an oil tank. That's going to be going up to your oil tank for your oil, to VRO. People don't trust these things, so they disable them. I did one on a Sea-Doo jet ski a long time ago too, so I understand it. So this one's been disabled, that's why it's unplugged, and that's why it's plugged off here. But the fuel pump still runs through here. This is your fuel line right here, coming from here, flowing into here, and then it comes out of here, and then this is where my fuel lines go into my camera down in there, go into right here where the end of my finger is, and then that is your fuel supply to all your carburetors as they go up through here. These are your lines that go down there to your choke. Those lines go to your choke over here on the other side. So just a little information. I don't know if some people do it differently, but if you're going to pull a lower unit off to service your impeller on these Johnson Evernote OMC outboards, I know like they could have two different styles of the shift rod through them, but it's take your time, kind of dive off in there and find it and understand how it works. Once you understand how it works, it makes a whole lot more sense. So I've got it back in there. Now I'm going to finish bolting up the lower unit. I think while I'm here, I'm going to service spark plugs, running compression, check on it. It's got champions in it right now. I'm not sure what they call for factory, but we're going to figure that out. We're going to put a new fuel filter in. We're going to get this thing serviced and ready for this family to have a good time out on the lake. All right, guys, it's Brian back here. We kind of did a little cleaning this morning. We're back on the boat projects. Like I said, this is still just a continuation of the new life of Stokes & Company restoration business. We got some auction chainsaws here picked up the other day. These are some pretty valuable. They're old 306 Poland A's. This is an old Sears lightweight. Got a little bit of organization going here. Casey got his 6.0 liter parts here. We're trying to find us a good machine shop to take them to. So still working on the Skeeter Hawk, waiting on a starter. Got it at the shop. We're gonna try to get the original one rebuilt. If not, we'll have to go with a aftermarket. So back over here. So we got the lower unit off. We got a new lower unit we're fixing to go pick up over at Sonny's in West Waukene, just across the lake. So, all right, we got the Tracker Pro Series 70 on the Nitro 165 TF. So we got the lower unit off out over there. We did crank it up, get it running. But I was testing on the key switch, just kind of learned a little bit about the key switch, and I blew a fuse. This is a little fuse that goes right here. This is a little bitty dude. Never seen one quite this small. Little bitty glass fuse, 20 amp. O'Reilly's does stock them. So what we're simply going to do this morning is just verify that we got this. All right, I had to set the camera down there for a second. So I'm believing that they make these in these type of deals to be like waterproof, moisture proof. So let's just verify before we get out going here that that it does still start up, and we don't need anything else while we're out, because I like to plan my day and kind of get all my stuff together. The straps were broke on this. We just took some of the excess off of the tarp straps and put some on here for them. So let's hook up the old battery here. I think she's going to be ready for the lower unit, new lower unit, get put on her, and ready to go test it out the lake. So let's go get the lower unit. All right, guys. A few days later, we got there's the old lower unit. Got a new used lower unit. Looks about the same, kind of paint missing a little bit. We got some paint here. We just kind of find something ultra matte. We're gonna just put a little bit of something on there to give it a little bit of a color to match up on there. So what I did not know on this shift rod is, let me go show you the old shift rod. We had to cut the old shift rod, if you remember, but here's the old shift rod. So down in there, there's thread, so it's threaded in there. Well, that's not just to hold it in here, that is your adjustment. And until the gentleman at Sonny's in West Waukene was telling me about it, I didn't know. And let me show you something else that's really cool. So as I told y'all, on this new on this journey that the Lord's put me on, got to working on boats. I really feel like boats is going to be a part of my calling for sure. It's an eBay item. We got to get shipped out on Monday. So check this out. Service manuals for, guess what? Johnson's, Evinrude Johnson's. What am I working on? Evinrude Johnson. So the manual I've got for this one is out there. So I just started running through high bid. Y'all know I like my high bid auctions, and these things right here on eBay, these manuals are ranging from anywhere between $25 and $40 a piece. These manuals right here, this whole set, $26 high bid, $26. 20 of those. I had 4 sets. Some of them go together. Maybe these go together, and this one's separate, and this one's separate. So anyways, four of them, $28 a piece. So I spent a little over $100 on probably hundreds of dollars. But we're not selling these. This is here for the purpose of Kingdom of God. It's my morning time, my coffee, my word, my Bibles, my notes. It's just time where I start everything out right here. I've also got my my eBay things in here. Case does his car cleaning. eBay items over here. So this is just a Jesus with the sheet. This is just real simple. 10 by 10, 10 by 12, I think. Just a room inside of my shop. I don't know if I've shown y'all that before. Got a calendar out here, kind of keep up with what's going on, what we're working on. So yeah, so the boat comes in. It's the Nitro 165, 70 horse tracker. Just post out there on Facebook, hey, you're working on boats, anybody need something worked on. And our friend shows me that a guy in Edgewood needs a boat worked on, and guess what it is? It's a Nitro. It's a 160, so maybe half a foot shorter, like almost identical, same year model. Went and looked at it, 70 horse Johnson. I'm like, Lord, you gave me 2 boats to work on, manuals, show me how to do it, and I thank you. So that's what we're doing. We're just gonna continue to go through this. But what I learned was, as reading right here, so here's where it talks about measuring this shift rod. Tells you how to measure it, then tells you what the specifications are. So ours is this L models, 21 and 23 30-seconds, which is a 30-second less than 3/4. Had to get my math out over here, take that out. I do a little bit of math, go back to math school. All right, math class. So measure here on the base. I'm measuring up, and in order to get a measurement on here, what I did was I've got a drill bit here, same size as this hole, that fits pretty tight. Got a little bit of play in it, but we just have to try to balance this thing out properly. So we're not really truly highly sophisticated in this, but I'm gonna set this up here so you can see it. All right, so 21 3/4. I mean, it could be right there. If we dip this down, it's gonna be like right on it, hair below it. So we're gonna leave our adjustment right there. But to get your different adjustments in there, what you're gonna do is you're gonna screw this in. You're gonna get shorter, or screw it out. So it is very important, because this is what shifts from forward to neutral to reverse in here. This is your shift rod, and if it's not right, it's not going to engage properly, and then it's going to wear. So very important. Sonny's did put me a new impeller in here. He had to take this out and put a new seal in there. Seal looked like it had leaked a little bit on there. This is oily just because it's the 2-stroke where it comes out through here. We got a new prop ordered from Amazon. Should be here tomorrow, so we're going to see if they can get this thing kicked off and get it going. Alright, put just a little bit of grease on this as the shift lever is going to push up through there. Doesn't hurt to put a little bit on here. On the splines also, kind of blow them up. Let's see. Make sure they are straight and they're not twisted. These are straight. Alright, put a little bit of grease on the sponge. Don't put it on the top. It could go up on top of the bottom of the engine, keep it from going in all the way. All right, guys, we're back here and we're ready to go to the lake. We got the lower unit put on. We checked the wheel bearings. This side was all right, topped off the air in it. Got a new lower unit on. Got a new prop in from Amazon, a little over $100, $125. Got it tightened down. Got a cotter pin on there. We've checked the oil, drained the oil, rechecked the oil. We've run it with the earmuffs on here to test everything. We've run through the motor, let this thing run to make sure everything's good. A couple things that we even double checked was the bilge pump here. So, got a couple of them down there. This one right here, that one, the one follow the hose that comes out. We even filled this thing up with the water. Double check it. The other bilge pumps are for the live wells. We checked our trolling motor battery. We checked our trolling motor. We got our rope ready to go. We got a new starting battery here. We're double checking everything that we have before we go out to the lake so that we can make sure that this boat's ready for our customer here. We got our dock lines here, dock line up there. This side, I believe, is gonna need some wheel bearings. They're pretty noisy. We're running just a short distance down here, so we're not worried about that right now. We're not getting charging out of this engine, so I got a full battery right now. I want to go out and test out this new lower unit and see, make sure everything's good to go. Then we'll start tracking down charging issue and the checking out the wheel bearings. I've got one fire extinguisher on here. I brought mine, my own personal life jacket, put up here just to have myself some more rope, another fire extinguisher, life jacket that fits me. I went through, vacuumed a little bit of this out, so let's go to the lake, see how she does. All right, so we're running down a county road here. So luckily we only live like 1 mile down the county road, and then we pull out onto our farm to market road, and we've got about, I'm gonna say about a mile and a half. It's not far, so we're very thankful to live this close to the lake. And this up, I actually got the boat back there. Whoa! Yeah, county roads are rough, but we live out here in the country. We have our freedom, we have our enjoyment here. So as a friend of mine says that lives in the city, he said be thankful. He said I'd deal with these rough county roads to live out here in the country. So yeah, we're thankful. So we're gonna turn on our farm to market road here and get out here in the lake. Test this boat out. If you're struggling with alcohol addiction, then there is freedom. There's freedom in Jesus Christ. All right, see up there, we got Holiday Marina. And we're heading up over here. You get to see the first glimpse of the lake. Pretty neat, kind of come over this hill here. And there she is. There's your view of beautiful Lake Tawakoni. Yeah, on the weekdays it's pretty quiet out here. Not many people. Not many people at all out here. next phase over here. Got some equipment out over here. Got a big pavilion up right over here, and we're gonna pull over here to the approach to the boat ramp. And which I remember seeing me when we go to the lake. First thing to do is get everything ready, put the plug in, unstrap it. We're gonna leave it on the trailer and let it run for a little bit. We got a good cove over here. We're kind of drive around, test it out, see how she's gonna do. Hey guys, it's Brian here with Stokes Company Restoration Business, and we're back on our Nitro over here that we've been working on. All right, so we've got the 70 horsepower Tracker Pro Series oil injection. Oil injection has been taken off. This is one we've been doing the lower unit on, and we took the boat out the other day, and it had a lack of power, and then it ran out of fuel. So one of the first things we're gonna jump on is we're gonna replace it's got the VRO. The VRO's been disabled, but the pump is still running. The fuel pump still runs through the VRO. So what we've done is we're going to Amazon here, and this is the fuel pump we got. It says it's a Hero Foch 60 to 70 horsepower 3-cylinder, and also does the V4 cross flow motors. It is made in China. We're gonna give it a run, see what it does. Looks like it comes with fuel hoses, zip ties, screws. Here's a pump. It says we're gonna use our old VRO mounting bracket. We're gonna more than likely go ahead and replace our fuel lines while we're in here, and see if we can get this thing back going. So we got the lower unit done. Shifts, everything works great on that. Just it wouldn't plane off. Didn't have any power. So early in the video you'll be able to see that. But today we're going to show you how to put the fuel pump on here and get rid of the VRO pump. So here we go. VRO pump. VRO pump right here. You can tell if one's been eliminated by, there's electrical connection disconnected from there and there. And then we'll also see it's been blocked off right here, the oil line that would be coming in to that right there, to that port. So but the fuel pump still does run into here, so this is a fuel pump. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate this fuel pump and get it out of there. So to give us a little bit of room, we're probably going to go ahead and pull this breather off to be able to get in here and get the bolts out and do this job. Okay, so we got the breather off of here. While we had this out, we pulled these pulled the drains out just to check out, make sure that those jets weren't clogged, and then use the pump and pump some fuel through there, and saw something that was kind of concerning in there. Something should have done early on. But here's the fuel that's in it. You got a major separation in here. Not good. It appears that is full of water on the bottom. Then we got an oil and gas mixture, or that's the gas on the bottom and the oil on the top that's separated. I'm believing that that's just water. Up on the bottom, we got lots of water in here, so that's obviously a problem. We're going to run a standalone tank instead of the tank that's in here to do some testing on here. So we got the this is your fuel out of the VRO style pump. So that's my fuel out. This right here is the one that's blocked off. This is the oil. This would be the oil going in. As I follow it down here, it goes into this one here that's blocked off. So this one here you won't be using. This one right here, this one down here where my finger is, that is your pulse. So that's where the fuel pump actually works, is a pulse off of that. So we're going to reuse that pulse. We won't be reusing this. This is our fuel inlet coming off the fuel filter, and then this is our fuel outlet. Okay, so we got the old pump off here. Got all the lines unhooked from it. We're going to reuse our bracket on here. So here we've got our new bracket. Now it's got several different ways that you can mount it through, using your different holes and mounting it on different sides. So what I did is I just put my bracket up there and saw which way worked the best, which obviously the line's got to be facing down, and if it was on the front side it wasn't going to work as well. So using it on the back side here works well. My VRO pulse hose, I was able just to cut, actually I didn't even cut any off of it. I just left it the way it was. My fuel line, I cut a little bit off and it seemed to work well. The fuel out, the fuel in is going to wrap up around here. So it's actually really well. You might have to do a little bit of trimming on some of your hoses, but pretty simple. It's looking like it's going to work pretty well with this kit right here. So this kit comes with this bracket and everything on this style, and just use my VRO bracket to mount it up on there. All right, so we got the water hooked up here, fixing to show you how she runs now. Hooked up, since we found that there's the bad fuel in the fuel tank, we hooked up a separate fuel line up here to our 6 gallons pre-mix 50 to 1, a little bit over 50 to 1. I like to run them a little bit richer, in between a 40 and a 50 to 1. So as y'all saw, we got the new fuel pump, no VRO, got it hooked up, all the lines hooked up, pulled the plugs out of the bottom of the carburetors, ran I used my cleaning tool for my cutting torch, running through them, make sure that they're clean, if there's nothing stopping up in there. And got it hooked up to good fuel now, so you have some sense. Sounds like she's running a whole lot better now than she was before. Let me show y'all something that I found. Instead of me having to go from here all the way back over there where my faucet is on the side of the shop, I'll just put a little shut-off valve right here, right by it, so we can leave the water hose on. When no one to fire it up, we're just right here, kick that thing on. It's been a lifesaver. So Looks like she's about ready to head out to the lake. The one problem I still do have is I got the old fuel in the fuel tank. We're gonna figure out the best way to get the old fuel out of the fuel tank. Okay, so getting the fuel out of the fuel tank. So looking in here at this fuel tank. So I can get y'all down in here. If you can see that level of it, it's about probably 2/3, right around there, about 2/3 of the way up. So trying to pressurize this tank, so put a little paper in there to pressurize that, keep that vent from coming out. I know there's probably other ways. Everybody's got different ideas. This is just one way that I was kind of taught, that I learned working on school buses by my boss. Trying to prime out fuel systems is pressurize the system. So, rag, air compressor, here we go. I'll get you over here so you can see the jar. There she is. Pretty nasty looking. Okay. So that's what we got coming out of the tank. If you can see on the bottom, we got some definitely some discoloration, some water in there. All right, guys, round two. We're at the state park this time. Just got launched out here, and it's pretty calm today. Let's believe that she's gonna run right now that we got some good clean fuel in her. Oh, look, our alternator's even charged. That's a good sign. We like that. Does water pressure's up good. All right, so she is running good now. She got some good fuel. Got her little remote tank set up over here. She does a good job. Let's see how well she runs again here. So she seems to run good, but it seems like we're losing, after running wide open throttle, it seems like we're starting to lose power and it's cutting out. It could possibly be the fuel tank. Next thing we'll do is go ahead and clean out this fuel tank and then see how she does. All right, so we're back on the Nitro here. As y'all saw the last time we were out on the lake, we were cutting out after 30 seconds wide open throttle. We're running on the auxiliary tanks. I don't know if it's auxiliary tank causing it or the fuel tank, but the fuel tank had water in it, so we had to clean it out. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning while we're in here too. It's a little dirty. We're just gonna take the time. We're gonna clean this thing up. We're gonna got a little pressure washer out here, and we're gonna pressure wash this tank and get this thing cleaned up. Then we'll get it back out on the water and get this thing tested. Almost done. We're gonna get this project wrapped up. Okay, we got the fuel tank cleaned out. Got the boat back out on the water with the fresh fuel in there. Ran it, tested it, no cutting out. After 30 seconds wide open, got the boat returned to the customer and in good condition. Again, thank y'all all for watching, and God bless you. Jesus loves you.